I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut, mayday. Bubbles and these models it's popping, I tip her. I skip her, I give her the. Girl, you on my line right now. Yeah, I can see the signs right now.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Tennessee.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Tennessee Titans and the Minnesota Vikings. 3 quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected and actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But, boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. They're going to look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. At a glance at the man at Center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here. And
what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
A gain of 39 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, too much oomph. Too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looking to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Obi Melifonwu. The 40. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like the Titans were able to recover, and indeed they will keep possession of the ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB2, let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game. But they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
No gain on the play there. Second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's to his running back, complete. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, I guess they wanted to get that touchdown right back on their first drive, but failed to do so.
And what they have to be careful of is pushing so hard to stay right there, to stay even with their opponent, that they gas themselves out. You know, it's almost like horse racing. Sometimes you don't want to take your horse right to the front and let them do all the work, and then someone catch them at the end and pass them up. You want to make sure you moderate what you're doing along the way and then go for the big finish.
They run again on 1st down. Cook stripped. The ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
The numbers for Diggs from a week ago: 4 catches, 58 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15.
Now let's go. Green.
Again, this is Cook. And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football.
Now let's go.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here.
All right, here we go. Green.
Now back to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
And McManus able to put it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They run with Hines. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
They'll set up to throw. Buying time to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Cook following the penalty. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go.
On play action, they'll throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was looking for Macklin that time, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a 1st down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Now a toss play. It's Hines. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He finds Coleman. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. That'll put him at an even 50 receiving yards now in this first half. And it's a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
Here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Hurry up, here we go.
We have hit. We now proceed to the start of the 2nd half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
The 1st down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful. And now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play that time for the Titans. 52 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
He's going to loft one. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. He got 29 yards that time. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! Black 99 Philly, here we go!
He'll get it up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. They come up in an offset eye.
319! 319! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Titans have made this a 1-score game.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense. But when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. Santos with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. That time a 6-play drive. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half.
Here we go now.
They start the drive with Cook. And now running right through it. It's a foot race. He's at the 40, 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Titans now. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter. Went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They have certainly looked his way in this 3rd quarter. Another catch, and it's good for a 1st down. A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Hines. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Able to shake him off. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, there's a bunch of pressure that time on 3rd down. They nearly got it. Probably should have gotten it, but he's able to escape the pocket. But unfortunately, by then, that play had already broken down.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. With his third. Touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. extra point from McManus is good. And the lead now up to 14. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, complete. It's Coleman. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the fourth quarter. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Joey Bosa in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And his pass incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll look to throw here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another 1st down. Back to throw here. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Joey Bosa in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
They'll drop to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And he is all the way up past the 25. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down.
All right, here we go.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 35. A big play that time for the Titans. 45 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. They'll set up a throw. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. He'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got...
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Corey Coleman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Titans are able to make this a close game again. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw. He's got his man in the crossing route. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They run it again with Cook. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Victory formation time for the Vikings as they'll take a knee here.